How are we all? Hope we're all good. Big shout out to KR Curries and Transport Limited, and a big thank you to everyone who likes, shares, comments, and subscribes to the All or Nothing podcast. Do you know what I want, right? When you've got a problem with drugs and you want to get off, and your family are going, look, we can help you, and you're going, okay, you know, I'll go to any lengths here. I'll do anything you want. And they go, okay, so we've got your rehab sorted this Friday. It's Wednesday, by the way, now. They've got this rehab sorted for you on Friday. But you're that fucking desperate. You're saying, I want to go now, right? I want to go now. I've had enough. Enough's enough. But you're going on Friday. I want it today. Right? So they make another call. Ba-bam. Right, Bill, it's sorted. You're going at 5 o'clock today to that rehab. What? 5 o'clock today? You're fucking messing, aren't you? You said Friday. But you were so desperate, lad. You wanted it today. I can't go today. You know, I've got plans now. Procrastination. We'll put something off for a later date instead of doing what needs to be done now. You know, I've always, you know, being a world-class card carrying card class pleasure seeker in that area. You know, I'd blag me way through life, tell you I wanted something now, and then when the opportunity arose, I'd, wow, fucking shit myself. And that's not because I didn't want to do it. It was just because of the fear of doing it, right? There's nothing worse when you've been wrapped up in narcotics or ale for a long time. You know, you're comfortable in that way. That to take all that away from you is like taking a relationship. It's like ending a relationship. It's like a lover leaving your life. And you've got to wish them well and say ta-ra. And that's the last thing you want to do, because relationships are heavy duty. So yeah. See you later, babe. You've been a part of my life for about 20 years. Gonna miss you. You know, then when you're in the detox and you're having them long, lonely nights, not the night shift. It's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be all right on the night shift. Ooh. Are you in and out of them baths? You know, you're in a hot bath, a cold bath. You've got your head in the fucking fridge. You're burning up. You can't stop sneezing. You're smiling like there's no fucking tomorrow. You know, it's not easy. You know, and whether it's wet or dry, whatever makes you high, whatever takes you to your knees, that's what you've got to tell yourself. You know, people have got a problem with weed. People have got a problem with cocaine. People have got a problem with heroin and crack. Yeah. Take any of them drugs, it's like putting a fucking gun in your mouth and pulling the trigger, because you're slowly killing yourself. Mentally, physically, spiritually. You know, your life becomes meaningless. Now, I was one of those addicts that when you saw me out there, you'd say, fuck, he's never getting this. He's never getting clean him. Nah, he's rid off him. He's finished. That's the type of thing you'd be saying when you saw me. And I believed that myself. It was only when I hit rock bottom, and it was in a jail, and it was Lancaster Castle, and I'm sitting in a cell with about half a dozen lads who were all on the gear, and the foil's going round. Everyone's getting like line for line, right? It's your turn, Dave. Go ahead, John. And I remember it going round, and it's coming to me, and I've been playing with this thought of like, I'm out soon and I've had a fucking enough of this life. I have, you know, and the key is there and it's coming to me, And I get it in my hand, right? And for the first time in my life, I've got it. I've got the tube in my mouth. I've got the lighter here. I look down. I look around. The room's full of smoke. People are gouging, people are smoking spliffs. Take the tube out. I go, nah, I don't want that. I swear everywhere, man. You what? You alright, lad? He said, yeah, I don't want it. And I got up and I walked out that cell. And I knew then, you know, that was enough. The war was over for me at that time. And I was on that phone to the probation officer the next day. They were picking me up a couple of days later. You know, and I was full of fear. I felt quite vulnerable. And he met me at the gates. And he took me from the prison gates to Barleywood Treatment Centre in Bristol. And we didn't speak a word to each other while we were in that car all the way there, because I was just like, I don't know, I couldn't relate to people. Couldn't have a laugh. I had no conversation in me. All I knew was war stories. You know, when I went to my first meeting, it was just a war story. How hard done by I was, how much I used, you know, what I had to do to get the drugs, the violence, you know, the loss, the prisons, the landings, the fights. That's all he had to talk about. And I must have drained the living daylights out of people when I'm sitting there, because I'd sit and listen to them and I'd judge, and they'd be going, yeah, you know, it's work's been going well this week, and you know, we've just booked a holiday. You know, my wife has just got a new car. You know, we put our children in you know, a private school. I'm like, fucking hell, what kind of addicts are these? Their using must have been a tea party compared to mine. You're messing. Holidays, private schools, bank accounts, cars, houses. What the fuck? All I ever had was prisons, institutions, and premature death. That was what was on the cards for me. And I had that, like, ego where I wanted what you had, but I didn't know how to fucking get it. And whatever, lads, who's ass, you know what I mean? No stories. People were talking about going all over the world, and I felt really insecure and inadequate. And I remember listening to someone share a Pulitzer Prize winning story of how great his life was, and it sounded boss. And I went to this other meeting at a time, and I shared his story because I didn't have my own. That's how sad it was for me. You know, I was hot, horny, hungry. You know, I'd fall in love with a cheese butty. You know, I remember going to the chemist before I got clean, fucking thinking I looked gorgeous, sweating like a glass blower's ass, picking me met up, seeing this bear behind the counter in the chemist. You would see every fucking day. She must have been like, oh, he's fucking here again. And I believe she fancied me because she smiled at me and I smiled back. I thought, wow, wedding bells are going here. Right? And it was just about the time when social media was about, like, Facebook and Badoo and Plenty of Fish. And, you know, I was on this Plenty of Fish fucking website and she popped up, her face. And I fucking slipped into the fucking messages and sent her a little DM, and we hit it off in the DMs. And she asked me, you know, what I did for a living. I fucking lied, you know, and then I had a fucking I'll picture from when I looked well. And then she got on who it was, fucking blocked me. But you know what? Yeah, so just sitting here waiting for someone to turn up and do a podcast. So I thought I'd have a little chat about, you know, my journey. But yeah, if you want to get clean, you'll get clean. There's no time like that now. You know, if you're struggling, speak to someone. life is much better clean, it really is. I've had my struggles, you know. I've had my gifts and my joys, you know, and I'm one of those now. We can talk about going on holidays and, you know, his car and, you know, his kids going to school. It's fucking... But me sitting in that meeting almost 20 years ago, listening to someone like me talk about just normal stuff that goes on every day in life, was like a far cry from what I thought life would be for me. Now, I know there's people out there who go, fucking hell, I'll never reach that. I'll never be like that. You will. Trust me. You know, give it a go. And thanks for listening. Appreciate all the support.